Okay, in this presentation what we're going to do is set up this matrix here, which is a three-stage Markov chain transition matrix. And what we're going to do is to set that matrix up as a transition matrix, as a Markov chain object in R. So just there's two component parts to that. There is the actual matrix itself, okay, and then there's the names of the states. In this particular example, it's north, south, and west. So essentially, how do we set that up as an object in R that we can do quick calculations on? Now, this is a sort of assuming that you some sort of a knowledge of R already, and I have another video where I go through everything in much more detail. So first off, what I have to do here is actually just install the R package and type in library Markov chain. Now, just an important thing there, actually, if you do that, what should happen there is I've actually run this a few times, so you might get some messages there. That's fine. Don't worry about that. Some little blue text just underneath that. Just an important matter, though, is that I actually have a more up-to-date version of R. So I'm currently on, let's just scroll back up there, I'm currently on version 4.0 when I record this video, and the version of R required is 3.6. Okay, now this happens in a lot of offices and workplaces, that getting R updated every so often can be a bit of a challenge. Just to be clear, it's version 4.0.0 that I'm working with, and I need 3.6. So anyway, what we have to do is set up two things. First off, we have to just name the states, north, south, and west for this particular example, and then just import the transition matrix. So I'll just clear that here, Control L. Then I'll bring in the names of the states, which is driver zone in this particular example. You just actually can give it any old name, but I've just sort of consistent with the presentation I've just made previous to this. Okay, let's do the transition matrix. Okay, I have that coming from somewhere else. Now this just sets up a matrix here, and it should align to what I just showed you previously there, north, south, and west. What you can do there to double check it is that just check that all the rows add up to 1, 0.3, 0.3, 0.4. Perfect. So just this is a very complete setup for setting up a matrix. Okay, now I'm going to clear the screen. So just copy and paste that in. Okay, and let's have a look there. I just couldn't let you pause that and just sort of see everything that goes into that. Driver zone by row equals true, so it's also setting up a matrix, and zone transition, which is the transition matrix, and here we call it driver movement, which was the name of the example. So let's just have a look at that. MC zone, there we go. So this is actually set up now as a object that is a Markov chain object. Okay, so what I could do here is go class MC zone, and you'll see that it's not just a matrix, it's a Markov chain object. Okay, so that is what we want. So what we can do here is just do see how it transition over several phases. For example, over 2 phases, just go chevron 2. Okay, we can just square it like that. You don't have to worry about matrix squaring and doing it correctly. The Markov chain is set up for that. You can just square it as is, and you can do it for multiple states. Let's say 9 states. There we go. You start to see that it starts to converge to steady state probability, and we can actually just check what the steady states are using the steady states command. There we go. So that looks like what should happen there. It's a little row vector. Pi times p equals pi. All right, so that's it. That's just actually how to set up a Markov chain object, so that you can do little analyses for it. This is sort of set up really for students of mathematics who already have some familiarity with R and don't need to be walked through some of the basics. Okay, we'll leave it there.